The INFP personality type within the Myers-Briggs type indicator tends to be a very loyal, idealistic personality type. They make up approximately 4% of our total population. It's interesting that within this personality type, it's pretty much even between men and women. So 4.1% of men are an INFP, while 4.6% of females are INFP. The INFP personality type is not just idealistic and loyal, but they're idealistic and loyal to people and relationships that are important to them, their values. And what they want their external life to look like is that it is a mirror or that it's congruent to the values and the ideals that they hold within themselves. They are curious and they're quick. They are able to see possibilities very, very fast. And that goes along with the intuition part of their personality. And they're catalysts for implementing ideas. They want to understand people, but their goal in understanding people is to help other people to fulfill their potential. These people, because of that personality type of perceiving, are very adaptable and flexible unless somebody really messes with their values or their values are challenged or threatened. Going in a little bit deeper into the characteristics of our INFPs, we want to see that their feeling function is their dominant function, although it's introverted. That means that people don't tend to see it, and although the INFP depends on it the most, those that are around the INFP don't notice the feeling piece. So they use it internally, and they're going to make their decisions based on their values about understanding, individuality, growth, their standards, their ethics, and their commitments. And they live by a very strict rule of moral commitments. So their dominant function of introverted feeling tends to be sensitive, concerned, caring, and idealistic and loyal. However, because they have this intuition side that is more extroverted, this is what people tend to see the most of this personality type. The INFPs are really interested in reading, discussing, and reflecting. The reflecting goes along with their introversion. They're curious about ideas and creative, and they tend to have a really good long-range vision. At their very best, the INFP has that strong inner core of values, and it's going to guide all of their interactions, their relationships, their decisions. It may even guide their choice of employment. They want to be involved in a work that is going to contribute to their own growth and the growth of others. They need people to be able to reach their own potential. They need to have a purpose with their paycheck. So the amount of the paycheck is not going to be as important to them as having a purpose for their employment and their career. They really want to be able to clarify their values and then live congruently with them. They are going to recognize and honor. Honor is a great word to the emotional and psychological needs of others. Now, at their worst, this is when they're very stressed out, something tragic has happened, or there is some kind of problem, whatever it can be. We're going to see that they stop listening. They're no longer going to accommodate others. They don't really care for others. They may become isolated. They're going to ignore conflict, they're going to avoid conflict, and they even become hypercritical. They're going to judge every little thing that comes into their life. They're going to be frustrated, and they're going to be domineering. And the reason they do this is because they're trying to control something that they feel is completely out of control. They may procrastinate and become vocal critics over things, and they're really going to be intense over their values. This means that they're going to be very domineering, I guess is the best word for their values. They're going to not be willing to compromise at all. How other people see them is they're going to see them more in that extroverted intuition part of their personality type, as well as the perceiving part of their personality type. They're going to find rules and structures confining because they're more adaptable and flexible. And again, that goes along with perceiving. And they are going to keep being adaptable and flexible until something violates those values. The values going with the feeling part of their function. They tend to be very reserved and selective, and they're not going to share their values and their feelings, again, part of their introversion, because they do want to keep that inside of themselves so that they can create a balance between their outside world and their inside world. Now, all of their relationships, however, need depth and a true connection. It's very important that they have respect and trust in their relationships. They really want to have others understand their own values and their goals. So generally, you're going to see an INFP as being sensitive, reflective. They're very complex. However, they're original, and at times they can be very unique and difficult to understand.